Welcome, guys, to Metallidium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Gorebringer, this new Condemned to Suffer, and more things related to the metal world in general. So we started by asking, how is the band during the last couple of years? How are you? Because your previous album, Terrified Beyond Measure, was released in 2022.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us. This is our third album. We call this the most personal one so far. And I think we worked really hard
Mhm.
for this, to be honest, and we are very proud of the album. So far, so good. It's a new release. It's been a week. Hopefully, we'll able to manage a better things with this one because as a small band, we got some in the back in the days we had some issues with production and stuff, and hopefully it's going to be better this time because we worked really hard. The songs are more complicated, I believe, and hope people will like it. And so the reaction is quite good so far, and we'll see. It's quite a new album. Yeah, we are doing well. Hopefully, and happy Halloween, by the way. Today is Halloween, so
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay,
yes.
thanks. So, in talking about this new, when do you start writing songs for this new one? Are all the songs new, or did perhaps you rescue any composition that were left out for the previous one?
Well, to be honest, one of the songs were written about 7 years ago. It was going to be in the first album,
Yes.
Okay.
but somehow we replaced it with a different one. And then we decided to put that song in this album uh, because we were planning to make an instrumental song as well, because all of our albums has instrumental songs in them. But some issues happened during mixing process, and the production didn't go well. And then we decided to put that song in this album. Some of them were written 5 years ago, and some of them are recent songs. So it's a kind of a mix up. To be honest, the second album, some songs were planned to be in the second album, but they're in the third album, so it's a mixture. So there's no timeline. So we've got some stuff in our portfolio, and we are putting them in the correct order. Sometimes we mixed up stuff, to be honest. But the other songs are quite recent. I mean, I would say we started writing those songs in 2021
Mhm.
or so. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, it took about two and a half years to complete the album.
Oh,
Everything, recording and mixing, everything. 2.5 years, I would say.
mm, okay, okay. So you said, Katz, about this last album is your best effort to date, or you say that this is you are the best one, and you work a lot on this new album with new compositions, with the new sound. So, in with this kind
Yeah.
of topic, what makes this album special to you, and how do you work to maintain your sound, even when you are involved into this melodic death metal stuff?
Yeah, because this is the most personal one. In the second album, as you know, we work with other people, guest musicians, very talented people, to be honest. But when you work with different people, different issues comes up, and the process it becomes longer. It becomes longer to make an album, and also it's cost wise, it's not so accurate. So we said, okay, we can do these things by ourselves. Uh, and we wanted to be more personal than the second one, and hopefully to
Yeah.
be honest, I think it's a better decision because more people means more trouble, in my opinion. Of course, I like to be in a more crowded band. Like we are only two people. It would be all better if we have a bass player, for instance. I'm playing bass guitar at the moment as well. But to be honest, when you have a bad experience in the past, we say, okay, let's make this one more personal and let's work on the songs all together. And Bilge also involved a bit more in this one. He's also a guitar player. He can play the guitar, so he showed me some riffs, guitar riffs that I used in the songs as well. And the first and second album, they're all songs are written by me, music wise. But this one, Bilge had more contribution to the song, so it's more of a band work, I would say. This last one, so we call it more personal. Therefore, we call it more personal. And songs are more complicated, I would say. Guitar solos and all the other riffs are. If you listen carefully, you'll find out. I'm just compared to the second album, you'll definitely see that this one is a bit darker, I would say, and more complicated. In the first album, that was more of an experiment for us. But the second one, more mature. This one, I think the most mature one is the third one, I would say. And because we are learning as well as we record stuff, we are also learning, how to mix, how to play, how to record, these kind of things. We're learning,
Mm. Mm.
And we are getting old, yeah, maybe.
yeah, we are getting old as well, yeah. We're not young people not anymore.
Okay,
Also,
and
yeah.
talking about the title of the album, the cover art, and the lyrics of this new one, so how do you relate everything? Because you have a different cover art compared to the previous one. The name of the album is Condemned to Suffer, and usually you spoke about the gore, these horror movies, this kind of stuff. So how do you relate everything with your sound, with the melodic death metal stuff?
Yeah, melodic death metal stuff, to be honest, it's my favorite genre. I grew up with melodic metal music, to be honest. 80s metal music mostly, because I'm in my 40s, I would say. I used to listen a lot of Iron Maiden, Manowar, that kind of stuff back in the days. And then back in 90s, late 90s and early 2000s, a lot of Swedish death metal, like In Flames, At the Gates sort of stuff. So when you listen to those kind of music, and I like black metal as well. I love black metal too. So when you listen that kind of music, your interests are always the same. We like horror movies, video games, those kind of stuff. We like them, and our songs are all about this kind of stuff. Nothing too serious. I don't write political songs, for instance. Not interested at the moment. Because there's no point, in my opinion. Of course, I do care about political stuff, but in terms of music, I like to write about fantasy or dark horror, that kind of stuff. So melodic music, that's something I like. As in the first place, we were a grindcore band, as the name suggests. Gorebringer. It sounds like a grindcore band. Yeah. So our intention was to be a grindcore band, and we wrote some songs. Short song, as you know, songs are like 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, something like that. And then we say, hey, let's make it more complicated, more complicated. I want to put a guitar solo in this, and then it became a melodic death metal band. In the end, we ended up being a melodic death metal band, to be honest. Yeah, but we are quite happy with the sound, and we both like melodic death metal. That's the reason. The only reason is we like this kind of music, and our interests are just the same: horror movies, video games, and horror novels, books. And therefore, our songs are all about this kind of stuff. Nothing so special, as you might expect.
Okay. So now talking about one thing that captured my attention is about the sound, especially with the cover also, because Terrifier Beyond Measure was more brutal, was more directly to the vein, because you when you hear this more brutal, like more Principionist, something more brutal, something more fast, into the melodic death metal. And the curious thing about this album is you have a dark cover with dark colors, etc. And now, when you condemn to suffer, the sound is more darker. You have more influence for the black metal, but your cover art has more color. That's a thing that when you try to relate some things, the music is more darkness, but the cover art are more had more colors. So in this case, this decision has to be it was made by you. Perhaps it was a coincidence with the lyrics or the cover art or the design of the cover art.
Yeah, it all depends on the artist, to be honest. In the second album, he was a very talented guy, and he came up with this idea, it's not black and white, but as you say, it's a darkish color on it, and we liked it. To be honest, there's no deep meaning in it. We just liked it, and yeah, this looks really nice. And the third one, we sent them the new artist. This one was made by a different artist. We sent him the lyrics, and he came up with this idea, and we didn't say, well, this is too colorful, or we liked it, and we say, okay, let's do this one. So it's all up to the artist, and we do respect their work. I think they all made a great job, and then we decided to go with this, to be honest. So nothing special. So we do respect their decision, and we like the cover. Hope everyone likes it too.
Mm. Okay, okay. So now talking about the the reception of the album, because the album were released a couple weeks ago. So for that, so what kind of reception do you have? How has been the reviews, the comments? So do you have time to read reviews get posted online, because there is now a lot of medias publishing reviews, and also do you have time to read reviews? What how do you take the reviews, bad, good ones, etc., about this new one?
Not many reviews so far. I mean, I've seen a few, but they were all good. I mean, uh, since day one, I haven't seen a bad review, to be honest, about our music. But so far, so good, I would say. And we released the album on YouTube as well, on a big channel,
Mhm.
and the reaction was okay as well. A lot of likes and views, so we liked it. So far, so good, I would say. Yeah. I haven't heard a criticism yet, but I would be happy if someone criticized the album. To be honest, so since day one, everybody is saying good things about the album, but I want to know what's wrong. Of course, there must be something wrong, right? So I would be happy if I see a bad review of the album. I'll be okay with that completely. So if it's honest, I would say good work. But so far, so good. Yeah,
Mm, okay,
reception.
okay. Okay, okay. And talking about now the promotion of this new album, what kind of plans do you have for this new one? Perhaps you will you will do some gigs there in United Kingdom, England, who knows, or around you, or perhaps you will present videos about this new album, or perhaps as you said, you already work. Perhaps you were already working in a four part on a four album. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, playing live is a bit problem for us at the moment because, as you know, we are just two people. We need to find band members, so, guest musicians, hopefully. But everybody is busy these days. But we are working on it. We are working on it. If we can find some people and we are happy, just contact us, and we'll be happy to play on live shows. It's not a big deal. Uh, about the marketing stuff, we don't do much marketing, to be honest. We made a music video for one of our songs. I don't know if you have seen it. It was an AI video, and some people criticize it, yeah, about this one. But obviously, the main reason we used AI, uh, just the budget reasons, because but it was still made by an artist, and it took about a month to make it. It has a story. So AI is just a tool, the artists use these days. I think it's okay to use, but the best reason, the reason is that we use because it was cheap, and we cannot afford like a hand drawn, cartoonish style music video because it's too expensive, and we didn't want to go to a farmhouse and pretend like play our instruments with an angry face. We didn't want to do that, obviously, as a music video. I just don't want to do that. So I think it was a good video, and we had some good reaction. Some people criticized just because it's AI, but I think they're gonna get used to it in the end because it's 21st century and it's just a tool. I mean, there's still an artist behind the work, so hopefully people will get used to it. But yeah, if we have the budget, we are happy to make a better music video. It's fine. It's completely fine for us, but it all depends on the budget. So marketing wise, we don't do much at the moment. We'll see. It all depends on the album sales. We don't do this for money, I would have to say. But if the album sells well, we can do some merch and also gigs, new music videos and stuff. It all depends on sales, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, and one thing I think the next question in all the rings is a common one, because as you said, Cass, you are two people in this band, no more members in this one. Even the drummer, I think, is just the I guess musician for record the albums, etc. So for this, why the band is stuck with two people and no to find more members? It was a thinking decision, or perhaps the things happen.
Well, to be honest, we are not too social people. And the second reason, we live in different countries, obviously. And also, I think there's no need these days. If you want to play live, yes, you need musicians in your band. But as a band, let's say you're a band with 5 members. Usually, two people write the songs, and then the other ones just play the song. To be honest, but these days it's the same. We are 2 people writing songs, but we don't have the additional musicians. But we record everything and release the album. And when we want to play live, we can find some guest musicians, and they can join us and play. Maybe they join the band, I don't know. But these days I don't think it's super necessary to have 5 people, 6 people in a band. That's a great thing if you have more people in your band. That's great, perfect. But if you don't have, that's not a big deal. I mean, you can still survive 2 days. 2 people in these days, because technology is advanced. I mean, you can do whatever you want these days. It's pretty easy to record stuff. It was very different back in the days. In early 2000, late 90s, recording an album was a big deal, but not these days. Yeah, so that's the reason. The reason we don't need those people at the moment, but obviously we want to play live, and we'll find some people, obviously, in the future, in the near future, I would say.
Okay, okay, okay. And talking about other kinds of topics, so you are, as you said, you have influence for the Swedish scene. So, and related with the topic of the melodic death metal. So, for you, what is the biggest difference that exists into the Swedish melodic death metal with the Finnish melodic death metal? Because for a lot of people, the Finnish melodic death metal are more melancholic, more gray areas into the music. So and the for but in that area we have more Principiones, that's more brutal than more bands in Swedish. So so for you? What is your perspective about this difference? How do you difference a sound from Finnish the melodic death metal from Swedish melodic death metal?
Well, for me, Swedish death metal is
HM2.
Swedish death metal, as you say, it's more brutal, first of all, but and less
Also,
technical.
yes.
I think it's less technical and more brutal. Finnish bands, they are super guitar players. You can see, best guitar players. But it's more of like there's also keyboard, for instance, and these catchy riffs. I think the distinguishable part is that keyboard and catchy riffs, and Swedish metal is more brutal and more noisy and dirty, I would say. And we are on the dirty side. So the Finnish one is more. It's like metal under makeup, under heavy makeup, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong; it's perfect music, but Swedish one is more. I like it more than Finnish one, because it's more dirty. I don't know. It has this vibe, this horror vibe in it. Therefore, we have chosen that style over the Finnish ones. But in terms of technical stuff, Finnish bands are better, in my opinion. Guitar playing, drumming, everything. But for the vibe and for the heart, for the metal, I think Swedish death metal is the way to go. Therefore, I've chosen to play a similar sound with Swedish metal.
Okay. On the other hand, I imagine you must also mention sometimes that your sound is reminiscent for certain bands that may have inspired you. But have you ever been told that you sound like a certain bands when you really don't?
Well, not really. To be honest, Dissection, people say our sounds we sound like Dissection from a Swedish black metal band, but melodic black metal. I think we sound like them. But some people say Mayhem. No, I don't think so. In the second album, because we are melodic, it's black metal. Hopefully, black metal is also melodic, but I don't see any. It's not relevant. To different music. And at the gates, people say I think we are not too similar, but similar. Some people say Black Dahlia Murder. I would say, yeah, sometimes, because we love them. One of the best bands ever. In my opinion. But yeah, I think Mayhem was the most extreme, that they say is you sound like Mayhem, but I said no, you don't sound like them at all.
Okay.
But we like Mayhem, yeah. We love Mayhem.
Yeah, we do like it, of course.
Okay, we are very close. We are very close to this interview. You said one thing about this cast because when I tried to find all information about Gorebringer, also usually Gorebringer is from from England in general. But you say that you live in a different countries, and usually when you don't see this information very popular on the social media and whatever information that we have in the web, so we try to find more information about it. So in this case, so is the band from England or is the band like in two countries? Like in two countries.
Yeah, Bilge lives in Turkey. I live in England. Guest musicians, for instance, second album. He was from Poland, and the
Mm.
keyboard player he lives in Australia. So we use our friends to record the album. They're all musicians, obviously. But all songs are written in the UK. So I live in the UK and I write the songs. I mean, most of them. And then Milge wrote the lyrics. Sometimes we wrote the lyrics together. And mixing is also made in the
Mm.
UK. So it's I would say it's a UK band because 90% of the entire product is made here in the UK.
Mm. Okay, okay, we are very close about this topic. So now, what is your opinion about now? Uh, England does since the beginning didn't have a huge melodic death metal because into the death metal with the grindcore and also have a great stuff from there, Blood Trower, Benediction, you name it, Nepal Death, Carcass, and a lot more. So what are the reasons always that England didn't bring us to us or didn't bring us didn't bring us to us a melodic death metal band?
Yeah, there's Carcass, as you said. Carcass is British.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
since the third album, but since the beginning are more, and here's the
Mm.
only one.
Yeah, that's the shortcoming of UK. I mean, we don't see many melodic death metals from UK for some reason.
Mhm.
Uh, hopefully, Gorebringer is the will be a pioneer. I mean, we're gonna be a leading band in that genre. Hopefully, I don't know the reason, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe people are too busy with playing other stuff. Rock music is quite popular in here. And the live music scene is not too rich at the moment. I mean, you don't see many metal bands. I mean, local metal bands playing around. You don't see them. You don't see much. Back in the days, they were better. The scenery was better, but these days, no, it's not rich. I mean,
Mm.
not many small bands are playing. You don't see live music that much. I mean, I'm talking about metal music. All the gigs are made by big bands. I don't know. It's never been a big thing. I mean, melodic death metal has never been big in the UK for some reason. I don't know.
Mm.
I really don't know the reason, to be honest.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Well, guys, we come to the sad moments of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one interview like me. Thank you very much for your time. This last album is a great one. It's a great one. Congratulations on this new one. So perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin
Thank
American
you.
fans that expect someday a gig tour? Who knows? Depends. And
Yeah,
obviously, Italian followers.
yeah. Thank you very much for having us. We're glad that you liked the album and listen it. We just want you to listen. I mean, listen on YouTube, listen on Spotify. Just listen to the album. I mean, you don't even need to buy it. Just listen to it, okay, and have fun. We all just want you to listen to the album and hope you'll like it.